Hey, this is Jim from OSR Garage. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about our 5 likes of our Bronco Sport. So, stay tuned. Okay guys, so our 5 likes, it's actually 7. We came up with 5 and then we thought of 2 more, so you're getting a couple bonus. So, to start out with, one of our favorite things is the gas mileage. So the EPA estimate on this is 26 miles per gallon, and we average between 28 to 30, and that's after we had put the lift and the larger tires on. Before that, we were getting 30 to 32, and in fact, we actually took a trip that was about a 2.5 hour drive there and a 2.5 hour drive back, and we averaged about 33 miles per gallon. Now that is using 93 octane. Here's where you can see we're at 28.8 miles per gallon. That is our average. Sometimes we get it up to 30 or 32 on a long trip, but normally we're right around that 28 to 30 range. The way these Fords are set up now is that the computer will adjust its performance based on the octane of fuel you use. So if you use 87, you're going to have a little bit less horsepower, a little bit less gas mileage. It's going to adjust timing and stuff like that for the octane that you're using. And so if you use 93, you're going to get your best performance and your best gas mileage. So number 2 is going to be space. Now we had an Explorer before this, and it was a lot bigger, a lot more space, but it was too much space. Our kids are grown up, and we realized that we didn't need that much space in the Explorer, which is why we went to this Bronco Sport. Now it has plenty of room for 4 full-size adults. So you can see there is plenty of room in here. My knees are just slightly touching or barely touching, if touching at all. Other than that, you can see that there is plenty of room in here. Even the cargo area, I'll show you that in here in just a second. You have some controls back here. But as for space, I am about 6 foot, so an average male. And there is plenty of room in here. So as you can see that there's plenty of room back here also. So you can have 4 adults up there. You can have plenty of room for your bags if you're traveling. So space is a good thing. Okay, so number 3, we're talking about handling. The handling on this is very good. The steering is really responsive, and there's minimal body roll when you go into corners or making adjustments on the highway. And that was before we added the lift and the bigger tires. Now the bigger tires were also about 1.5 inches to 1.5 inches wider tires. So it gave us a little bit more stability. So before that, you had a slight little bit of body roll. Now it's almost non-existent. So you can see here are tires. They're a lot wider than what they originally come with. These are all-terrain tires by Hankook. They are 265/60 18s. We have the 18-inch optional wheels on our Big Bend. Really improve the handling and less body roll. The next thing is engine power. Okay, so we have the Big Bend, which comes with a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder turbo or EcoBoost engine. So it has 181 horsepower, which is plenty of power to move this vehicle around. And the turbos help to accelerate when you need to pass someone or you need to pull out into traffic and you really need to get moving. So don't worry about the 3-cylinder engine. We haven't had any issues with it, and when you press on that gas, that turbo kicks in and you go. So don't worry there. Alright guys, so number 5 is lane keep assist. Now I know this is not the only vehicle that has lane keep assist. We had it in our Explorer also. But it is very, very useful. So if it's not an option on a vehicle that you already own, I suggest adding it on. You know, it does use a camera to see the lines. So if there aren't any lines there, then it won't work and it won't turn on. This is not hands-free, so don't think that you can let go of the steering wheel and lean back and relax. You do have to keep your hands on the wheel. It will alert you if you don't put your hands back on the wheel within a certain amount of time, or it doesn't feel the resistance from your hands being on the wheel. So just be prepared for that. Alright, so the next thing we're going to talk about is number 6 on our list, and it is the auto dimming and brightening headlights. We all know about automatic headlights. They've been around for years, so this is the next advancement to that, and I think there's been a few cars in the past that have had this. This is the first time that we've had it, and we love it. We put our lights on auto. And when we set that on auto, it's automatically set in there to auto dim when it sees lights coming at it or it sees lights in the camera. So if you even get close to someone coming up behind someone, it will dim. If somebody comes around the corner and it senses lights coming around the corner, it will dim before they get there. As soon as that car passes you, then the lights just brighten right back up. And you can see clear down the road. It is awesome. We have turned it on, we set the automatic, and we never have to touch our headlights ever again. It's amazing. Alright, so the very last thing, which is now number 7, we just couldn't leave this out, but this is something new to us. We've never used this before, we've never had this on a vehicle before. It's the automatic stop and go. Now, don't get that confused with the automatic start stop. That's completely different. This is the automatic stop and go. So while you have your adaptive cruise control on and you are in, say, a traffic jam, when you come up behind a car and your adaptive cruise is pacing you with that car, when they slow down, and if it's a traffic jam, or we just tested it on a stoplight, and I had my foot hovering over the brake the entire time because, you know, it's one of those things, it's new, you don't really trust it. So when the car slows down, and even if it comes to a complete stop, the Bronco came to a complete stop, and then when that car accelerated, the Bronco also accelerated. I never touched the brake, I never touched the gas. So that's the auto stop and go. That is something that's going to take a lot of getting used to. I hope you enjoyed this video. Click subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, spread this around to everybody else, click the bell notification. I'll see you later.